Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another video. This is WizWorks and today we're going to talk about the divisibility rules and have some practice with it. And this is a part of the quantitative section of the GAT or qudrat exam. I would like to stress the importance of the divisibility rules and how reoccurring they are, so stay tuned and let's get right into it. Okay, so now let's talk about the divisibility rules. So it's saying a number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is even. For example, 236. How would we identify that it's divisible by 2? Because it ends in an even number. Now we know that it's divisible by 2. Okay, now how do we know if a number is divisible by 3? The sum of the digits is divisible by 3. So what does that mean? So let's add 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2, 8 plus 1, 9. And is 9 divisible by 3? Yes, meaning that 9, because the sum is 9, meaning 9 is divisible by 3. So all of it is divisible by 3. Okay, now let's move on to number 4. And a digit is divisible by 4 if the last two digits are divisible by 4. So 28, is 28 divisible by 4? Yes, meaning that the whole number is divisible by 4. It's a number is divisible by 5 if the last digit is 0 or 5. So 76520. This number is divisible by 5. Why? Because it ends simply in a 0. 10. Is a number is divisible by 10 if the last digit is 0. Here. 100. The last two digits are zeros. So this number is divisible by 100 because the last two digits are zeros. So this means that this number is divisible by 5, 10, and 100. Let's move on to the practice problems. Let's get started. So it's saying which of these can be written as 3k, where k is an integer. Okay, so when we look back at the rules, we can recall that the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. So all we have to do is add. What's 3 plus 2? It is 5. Is 5 divisible by 3? No, meaning the whole answer is not divisible. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 4 equals 8. Is 8 divisible by 3? No. 7 plus 3 is 10. Is 10 divisible by 3? No. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Is 9 divisible by 3? Yes. It means that the 234 is k, where it's the integer. So I know this number can actually be very tricky. This number 1, it can be tricky because it is worded in a weird way, and it's like, what do you mean? They didn't really ask for you to find if it's divisible by 3, but they did. If you look closely, they're asking which of these can be written as 3k, where 3 can be divided by it. It is D. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Which of these is not divisible by 11? Not divisible by 11. First of all, we have to talk about the divisibility rules of 11. So the divisibility rule of 11 is if the difference of the alternating sum of digits is a multiple of 11. So what does that mean? So we can say the number 4015. Now, is 4015 divisible by 11? Let's find out. So the rule says that we have to alternate. So let's say we're going to start by adding and then minus and then add and then minus. So 4 minus 0 plus 1 minus 5. And all of that equals 0. And is 0 divisible by 11? Yes, it means this whole thing is divisible by 11. Now, the question is asking which of these is not divisible by 11. Now, let's figure this out together. So, for 132, what are like the multiples of 132? So, we know that to get 132, we have to multiply 11 times 12. It means it is a divisible. It means this is not going to be the answer. 165. We know that to get 165, we can multiply 11 by 15, meaning it's not it. 101. We know that from our rules that 101 is a prime number. That means it's divisible by 1 and itself, meaning C is going to be the answer. So if you knew this rule from the top of your head that 101 is a prime number, you could have automatically chosen this because I gave you the rules. I've given you this set of rules a bunch of times, but let's give it to you one more time because it's very important. So it's 2 is the only even prime number. Okay. 101 is a prime number. And 91 is not prime. So please, 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 I advise you to just have these rules memorized because they're very, very, very important. Okay, now let's continue. Let's just do the last one. So 792. We know that if we multiply 11 times 72, it's going to give us 792. Why? Because I feel like, I don't know if I told you guys this trick, but let's say 165. All we have to do is grab this and this, and then do it by 11, and then try it out. This is going to equal 165. Same thing. You're going to grab this, and then you're going to multiply it. Okay. Let's move on to question number 3. So we have 5 questions total, so hang in there. It says, we need to equally distribute 20 kilograms of salt and 35 kilograms of paprika into containers. So what is the largest number of containers that we need? Okay, this is very simple. What we're doing here is the GCD, greatest common divisor. And the greatest common divisor of two integers is the largest positive integer dividing both the numbers. So we just have to simply write it as a fraction. Now let's do an example before we get right into this of the GCD. So let's say, what is the GCD of 12 and 8? All we have to do is write it as a fraction. This is what I meant. 12 divided by 8, which is 4, which is the largest positive integer that divides both numbers. Okay, now let's apply what we learned into this problem. So, we know that we have to do 35 over 20. And what are the multiples of 35 over 20? Just to recap. We know that if we multiply 5 by 7, it's going to equal 35. We know if we multiply 5 by 4, it's going to equal 20. Means that the GCD of this is 5. It means that the answer is D. Okay, this was pretty easy, right? Don't get tripped up by the words. It says the largest number. It says, which of these is a prime number? Which of these is a prime number? So, from our previous learned, we know that 91 is not a prime number if you have these memorized. And we know, let's look at A. We know that A is divisible by 3. It means it's not a prime number because it's divisible by 3 as well. We know that's, let's look at 134. So we know that 134 is divisible by 2. Why is it divisible by 2? Because the last digit is even. The last digit is even, meaning it's not a prime number, because we said a prime number is a number that's only multiplied by 1 in itself. And 637. We are left with 637, which is going to be our answer, and it is the prime number. Final question. So our final question, I decided to put a brain teaser, and if you're wondering, yes, these types of questions do occur. They want you to have this type of logical thinking, and I feel like personally incorporating these brain teasers in my videos will help you a lot. So from now on, I will incorporate some brain teasers in some of my videos, and this will improve your overall logical thinking. And if you are a subscriber that constantly watches me, you're gonna do great in the exam if you watch me daily. Inshallah, bi'idhnillah, you're gonna do great. So let's get right into it. So the question says, a farmer has 17 sheep. All but 9 of them die. How many sheep does he have left? This is pretty simple, so we don't really need to even extract it. This is irrelevant to the question right now. All but 9 of them die. How many sheep does he have left? It's literally just asking you to pay attention to the question. It says all but 9 of them die. It means he has 9 left. It means he has 9 left. So our answer is simply 9. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new, and hopefully this brain teaser got you thinking. And yeah, this is WizWorks. Please do not hesitate to email me, WizWorksYT, this is a Y, T, at gmail.com if you have any questions or suggestions, or you can even comment it down. This is WizWorks. See you guys in the next video.